Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and I'm here with my 24-hour review of the Black Shark 3. Now, you may completely just write this phone off from the start, but I would challenge you to think about this phone in a different way. At 3,500 Yuan, entry level, this is the 128 gigs of storage version. This is the best value Snapdragon 865 enabled phone and 5G capable phone that exists today. And this unit even undercuts the Xiaomi Mi 10 in terms of flagship performance and in terms of price to performance ratio. So I want to kind of go down the list here. Typical design display, quick talk about performance and an audio test, but we're going to spend most of the time in gaming. So I will be doing some PUBG gaming at the end and then talk about whether this phone is actually something you should consider. So let's get started. But before we do that, let's quickly look at the contents of this box. A very stealthy look to this box, and you can see Tencent Games and Black Shark on the sides. High-res audio as well. And so this is what greets you when you open it up, and I'm really liking the new Black Shark logo. It is pretty cool. But this is even more cool. They include stickers beyond just the regular paperwork. You have some really awesome stickers that you can put on anything. And I gotta say, this almost looks like it could be the logo of a sports team. It is really neat. And just a summary of the main specs: 6.67-inch AMOLED display, 90 Hz refresh rate, 4,720 mAh battery with 65 watt fast charging, and you also have that 5G capability as well. This is a 30 watt max charging here, USB-C cable, and this is the TPU case that comes included in the Black Shark series. And I will say the cutouts for the backs are actually pretty significant. To me, it feels like it's really not protecting the back of the phone as well, but I see why they've done it so that a player can rest their hands behind the phone when they use it, and that makes a lot of sense. And that is it, so pretty basic unboxing overall. Talking about design, this is a thick phone, guys, 10.4 millimeters and 222 grams. And that is something I'm getting a little bit concerned about now, considering this is the regular size version of the phone. And we have a Black Shark 3 Pro that's coming out with an even larger 2K display. Guys, this phone is huge already. If the Black Shark 3 Pro is even bigger, it may be just too heavy and too unwieldy for most people. I'm thinking now that this phone may actually be the sweet spot in terms of maximum size that you'd want to use on a phone. And because you do have top and bottom bezels that are a little bit larger than usual, the phone is a bit taller. And the other thing about it is this just metal edge that harkens back to a previous era of smartphone design. You just have this matte metal edge and the glossy back. It looks really cool, but I will say it is quite a big phone in the hand, and you do feel that weight and you do feel that thickness quite a bit. I don't know what the weight of the Black Shark 3 Pro is going to be, but if it's significantly more than 220 grams, that is getting pretty hefty, and I think is something you might need to consider if you're thinking you're waiting for the Pro instead of this regular model. But all in all, the design of this phone is what it is. It's polarizing with this kind of triangular camera, and we do have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which is a welcome sight, USB-C, and dual speakers on the top and bottom. A polarizing design for sure, but for you guys who love this type of stealthy Black Shark design, you will love this phone. And so how big is this phone, you might ask? Well, here I compared next to the Xiaomi Mi 10, coming in with a similar display size. And then we have the biggest phone that I'm testing right now, the Galaxy S20 Ultra. And what do you notice, guys? This regular version of the phone is larger than both of these phones. In terms of height, the S20 Ultra comes close, but this is still the taller phone. The Mi 10, now at 200 grams, feels almost light in comparison to this Black Shark 3. And so that's what I mean, guys. This phone is already a giant phone in its own right. So now I'm really concerned about that Pro version, thinking it may just be a little too big for daily use. Talking about display, we have a 6.67-inch AMOLED capacitive touchscreen here, DCI-P3. We got always on display. 90 Hz refresh rate, though, is the killer feature. Yes, it would have been nice to have 120 Hz. That is not going to be the case for this Black Shark 3 series, but we do have HDR10 Plus capability and a 270 Hz touch response, so that should be very helpful in games as well. And the nice thing about this panel is that it is a flat panel, so you don't have any of that ghosting. And I've heard from some of you that the curves are a little bit significant, But for me, considering the size of this display, it's a non-issue. I kind of like them personally. And yes, the Pro version will have a 2K display, while this one, yes, is full HD only. But considering what I've said before, 1080p and 90 Hz being the sweet spot for performance, battery life, and smoothness, I think this Black Shark 3 actually hits the mark in terms of its display specs. And here's YouTube playback on the Black Shark 3 Pro. 20:9 aspect ratio, guys, so a pretty tall display, but because of the larger bezels top and bottom, it's not as immersive an experience as on the kind of Mi 10 or those other series. But what you do get for that top and bottom bezel are dual stereo speakers with high-res audio, and the audio is sounding pretty good from these speakers so far. Maybe not the loudest speakers I've heard, but they definitely have a nice stereo effect, and the audio plays directly at you, so it does create for a more immersive experience. But one thing that I was sad to see was wow, L3, guys, security level Widevine CDM for this Black Shark 3, and that'll likely be the case with the 3 Pro. These are the China versions of the phone. I'm sure this will be released with L1 when the global versions are released later, considering the Mi 10 series that just came out in China version does have L1 included. And here are the Geekbench 5 scores I got on the Black Shark 3. Very similar to the 865 scores from the Mi 10 and Mi 10 Pro as well. Now, I was going to test on Antutu, but check it out, guys. Antutu has actually been removed from the Play Store because of some confusion with Google. It's unfortunate, but as of right now, I've yet to test Antutu on this Black Shark 3. Once, hopefully, they settle that and they put that app back on the App Store, I will definitely do that. And in terms of battery life, we're looking at a 4,720 milliampere capacity. That's going to be lower than the 5,000 capacity we'll see on the 3 Pro. Now, I am getting an estimated screen on time of 7 hours and 38 minutes, so I'm predicting a similar time to the Mi 10, which has a 4,780 capacity, and that phone was a battery champ in my previous drain test. And when you factor in the fast charging, this is looking to be one of the more exceptional battery performers of 2020. And I quickly wanted to mention the light effects on the back of this phone. Now, they do take a little bit from battery life, but I do like the subtle effects that they're using here. And as you can see, you have a number of different options you can choose. Flash, breathe, which does more of a breathing effect on the phone, to just steady on if you want to just keep this on when the screen is on with just this kind of shimmering effect that's going on. And you can obviously adjust the color as well. So if you want to go for a different look on the back of your Black Shark, you can do that. And you can also just roll the dice and go random, and it will just pick a random effect here. This one looks pretty cool, I must say. And now a quick audio test of the stereo speakers on the Black Shark 3. Let's bring the mic down and have a listen. What can I say? So, very nice front-firing speakers. They're not the loudest ones that I've heard on a phone. I still think the Mi 10 Pro has more pleasing speakers to my ears, and phones like the Mate 20X as well. But the fact that they are front-facing will make them more immersive for things like gaming and stuff like that. And because we do also have the included 3.5mm headphone jack, that is just an additional bonus here on this Black Shark 3 series of phones. So pretty pleasing, probably 8 out of 10 quality in terms of speakers on this Black Shark 3. And now, quick mention of cameras. We do have a triple camera setup on this Black Shark 3 with a 64 megapixel f1.8 main camera, 13 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. We also have that similar 20 megapixel selfie camera from the Mi 10 series. Now, I don't think camera is the main kind of focus of this phone, but yes, it can shoot 4K up to 60 FPS, and it's just nice to see that they've included at least the essential cameras on this Black Shark 3 to really compete with any other 2020 phones. Now, I haven't taken many photos with this phone, but I've taken a few. Just have a look at these photo samples, and then we'll go straight to PUBG. And just some quick 4K video on the Black Shark 3. Looks pretty good. Pretty sunny day here in Hong Kong. Hit me up in the comments. What do you think? This is some front-facing video on the Black Shark 3. Moving back and forth. Filming this indoors. So the air is on. Different kind of experience than my typical front-facing videos. But hit me up in the comments. What do you think? But now that we're going to play PUBG, let's go ahead and turn this on and see what happens. There we go. A pretty cool little intro here that they have. Shark Space 3.0. And let's go ahead and get into PUBG Mobile now. And here are the settings we're going to use: HDR and Ultra. Ultra HD is not available, and Extreme is not here as well. But we've enabled anti-aliasing, shadows, and disabled auto-adjust graphics. And let's get started. And it's time for the classic Frankie Tech swim test. Just keep swimming, woo! Oh yeah, and it's swimming good. No notches, no punch holes, baby, just all display. You gotta love that. And at the plane jump with the Adreno 650, the Black Shark 3 has no issues, no stutters whatsoever. Let's get down to the surface, get some guns, get some action. And here is the master control that will actually set up those haptic buttons on this phone. You can see here, drag the mapping LR to the game button that you want to use. So let's turn them both on. Oh, they're shooting at me already. Take that. Take that. Oh, yeah. Oh, quick action here. 2 kills in a short order. Booyah on the Black Shark 3. So there we go. We can put left and right. So we have left and right now on the actual firing triggers. And as you can see now, I can actually use those buttons there and get the feedback that I need. Let's see if we can get one last kill here on the Black Shark 3. And now the one benefit of the Pro is that it will have those actual physical buttons that will pop up and will serve as triggers. That is a very cool feature, and it's probably the reason why a lot of you are very much interested in the Pro version of the phone. It's still bringing a very innovative and I think still very enjoyable interface to gaming. I think someone's shooting at me. And yes, I can see them there. Take that. Let's use both triggers. Left and right. Booyah, there we go. 3 kills on the Black Shark 3. And how is this phone feeling? Even with the kind of more metal edge here on this phone, it is still cool to the touch, similar to the Mi 10. And honestly, this phone is just crushing this game, PUBG Mobile, on the Black Shark 3. So that's it for this video and my final initial verdict on this Black Shark 3. There's a lot to like about this phone. I've previously reviewed the other Black Shark phones, and while this doesn't feel like a major revolution to the series, it does feel like a significant upgrade with the Snapdragon 865, the 90 Hz refresh rate. That was one of the big negatives I had from the previous generation, and now at least at 90 Hz, you are going to get a much smoother gameplay on this phone. But what are the negatives of this phone? As you get bigger in terms of display quality, and with these gaming phones, including things like front-facing dual speakers, you get larger bezels, you get a thicker and heavier device. You know, at 10 plus millimeters, 220 grams, this really is making me a bit nervous about how large this 3 Pro is going to be, because this phone is already huge. And I think a lot of you guys may be all hyped up about the Pro and not realize that this regular size version of the phone is already gigantic. So just keep that in mind. I still very much want to check out the Pro, but in terms of pricing, at 3,500 Yuan, this phone comes in and undercuts even the Mi 10 to bring you a Snapdragon 865, 90 Hz refresh rate, 4,720 mAh battery, all in a very stealthy, very kind of cool looking package. It's not for everyone, but for you guys looking for the best value Snapdragon 865 in 2020, you have it here in the Black Shark 3. But hit me up in the comments. Are you thinking of picking up this Black Shark 3, or are you dead set on the Pro despite all the things I just told you about in terms of size, thickness, and weight? And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. And stay tuned, guys. I definitely do want to do some comparisons with this phone, specifically against the phone that I think a lot of you guys are thinking about. For all of you casual users out there, the Mi 10 may seem like a better option, but this phone does undercut it in terms of price and is bringing the same specs and even more features than just the regular Mi 10. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, that's it for this video, and this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one.